Hey everyone, so we have the first example where we need to find the vector equation of a line. And this particular line passes through minus 4, 1, minus 3 and is inclined at an angle of 60 degrees and 120 degrees to the x and z axis respectively. And they also told us that it is inclined at an obtuse angle to the y axis. So first up, obtuse angle, which means that, well, cosine obtuse angle would be negative. So take note of that. So you can write it down here, negative. And let's start crafting our line. So we have line where the vector r equals to, since it passes through minus 4, 1, minus 3, we have minus 4, 1, minus 3, plus lambda and whatever we have here. In this case, because they give us the angles, we need to use directional cosines. So we have cosine 60 degrees, that's our z-axis. Cosine 120 degrees, that's our z-axis, and we need to find d1 in the center. So how do you find d1 in the center? Using the identity that we have gone through in the previous video, cosine alpha square plus cosine beta square plus cosine gamma square, or cosine square gamma, equals to 1. Right? The proof is gone through in the previous video, so do take a look at why this identity exists. From here, we just need to sub in. We have alpha, we have gamma, and therefore we can find beta. So we have cosine 60 square, which is simply half square. So we have 1/4. Cosine gamma square is 1/4 as well, because cosine 120 is negative cosine 60, which is half square minus half whole thing square is 1/4, plus cosine square beta equals to 1. And from here you can solve it very fast. Cosine beta equals to plus minus 1 over root 2, right? This gives you half. Bring over, become 1 minus half is half. Square root of half is plus minus 1 root 2. Alright, I mean rather, cosine square beta equals to half, then cosine beta is plus minus 1 over root 2. So because it is an obtuse angle to the y-axis, beta must be, cosine beta must be negative. So this equals to minus 1 over root 2. And as always, give a reason for a rejection. So reject 1 over root 2. Cosine beta is less than 0. Okay, so from here should be quite easy. You don't need to find the exact angle of cosine beta because they just want you to find the equation of a line. So this is simply equals to minus 4, 1, minus 3 plus lambda. Cosine 60 is half. Question mark was minus 1 over root 2. Cosine 120 is another half. Alright, minus half. You can then simplify this to minus 4, 1, minus 3 plus, now you factorize out half, which is simply times 2 throughout. So lambda 1 minus 1 minus root 2. Alright, so either way works. It really just, idea is that you just need to find this and basically evaluate the value of cosine. Don't need to find the angle beta unless they specify to do so. Alright, so there we have it, the first and probably the only example of directional cosine that I will go through.